The hit Amazon Prime Video show Reacher, which is based on the books by Lee Child, has been renewed for Season 3.
Will Jack Reacher finally learn how to smile? Will he find his long-lost twin brother, Hiker? Or maybe he'll just keep punching his way through problems? Who knows? Certainly not us. Join the confusion as we dissect every ambiguous detail in our quest for non-existent answers. What is it about Lee Child's Jack Reacher character that keeps readers and viewers coming back for more thrilling adventures? This burly ex-military policeman roams the country with nothing but a toothbrush, solving violent crimes in whatever small town he happens to wander into. Reacher embodies a classic American archetype, the restless wanderer dispensing justice wherever he goes. Reacher struck a chord with audiences because he represents a modern version of the classic American hero, the rugged individualist who lives by his code. As a former major in the military police turned drifter, Reacher is principled yet uncompromising, upholding his moral framework of right and wrong. He's an archetypal loner, a man of few words who lets his actions speak louder. Physically imposing at 6'5" and 250 pounds of solid muscle, Reacher can unleash ruthless violence on deserving bad guys. Viewers long for principled heroes who cut through bureaucracy and bring real justice, not just legal justice. Reacher's lack of materialism and minimalist lifestyle also appeal to those seeking freedom from consumerism and worldly possessions. He represents an uncomplicated primal form of justice outside the confines of civilized society's rules. How did the Reacher character make the leap from page to screen? Lee Child's best-selling Jack Reacher novels have sold over 100 million copies worldwide. In 2012, Hollywood took notice and adapted the first book, Hidden Flaw, into the film Jack Reacher, starring Tom Cruise, but the movie version fell short of fans' expectations. While financially successful, Cruise's casting was controversial given the character's hulking physical size in the books. When Amazon acquired the TV rights in 2020, they knew they needed an actor who embodied the character's physicality. They found their perfect Reacher in Alan Ritchson, an experienced TV actor whose muscular 6'2" frame aligned perfectly with the role. Ritchson also captured Reacher's grit, intelligence, and deadpan humor. Author Lee Child gave the series his full endorsement, saying Ritchson completely nails the character. Unlike the movie, the showrunners stuck closely to the source material from the start. Season 1 was a faithful adaptation of Killing Floor that dazzled fans. The show's serious treatment of the book's gritty violence and subtle humor hit the mark. Amazon Prime Video knew they had a hit on their hands. Reacher exploded in popularity, quickly becoming Prime's most-watched new series. Season 2 adapted another book with the same mix of action and humor that made Season 1 a success. How does Reacher upend the standard detective show formula? Reacher turns the traditional detective formula on its head. Most detective shows follow a standard structure, a series of regular characters who relocate to a new town in each episode to solve a different mystery. Usually, they are police detectives or private investigators, but Reacher has no permanent home or steady job. He's not a cop, PI, or professional problem solver. He just wanders into these violent situations by happenstance. Reacher doesn't have a stable cast of characters supporting him in each episode like most detectives. He rolls solo without a partner, tech expert, medical examiner, or police squad backing him up. He doesn't gather evidence in an organized procedural manner but follows his instincts, and he metes out justice using his fists instead of handcuffs. Reacher completely improvises, using his wit, special forces training, and brute strength to take down bad guys. The show freshens up the detective genre by dispensing with standard tropes. Reacher feels unpredictable and dangerous. Each town presents high stakes with new power players, criminal organizations, and innocent lives hanging in the balance. Will the ruthless villains try to kill Reacher or recruit him? Reacher keeps viewers guessing because it rarely follows a formula. As ideas about traditional masculinity evolve, Reacher represents a version of manhood that resonates. He embraces physical strength and fights when necessary, but also shows caring, empathy, and respect for women as equals. Some hypermasculine characters like James Bond now feel outdated or sexist, but Reacher demonstrates emotional intelligence and eschews the playboy lifestyle. Unlike antiheroes like Tony Soprano or Walter White, Reacher uses violence judiciously for good. He protects the vulnerable, particularly women, instead of harming them. Yet he also acknowledges the strength and skills women bring as allies, not damsels in distress. The show allows female co-stars like Neegly and Roscoe to showcase their fighting abilities and sharp instincts besides Reacher. So while he occupies traditionally male roles of fighter and protector, he doesn't diminish the contributions of female characters. Reacher simultaneously celebrates physicality and strength while progressing attitudes about gender. Why was Season 2 bigger and better? After a strong debut season, the showrunners expanded the scope and scale in Season 2. The first major change was the inclusion of more characters from Reacher's past as a military policeman. Book 11, Bad Luck and Trouble, revolved around Reacher reuniting with members of his old unit, the 110th MP. Their mission is to investigate a series of murders targeting former members. This allowed Season 2 to flesh out Reacher's backstory through his rapport with ex-colleagues like Francis Neagley. Scenes of camaraderie between Reacher and the 110th MPs balance the usual lone wolf tone. The connections make Reacher seem less aloof. The heavier focus on his army service gives more context to the skills Reacher utilizes in his vigilante quests. The second improvement in Season 2 was the introduction of a bigger villain in Adrian Dunning, a ruthless hitman who challenges Reacher. Their intense rivalry elevates the stakes and gives Reacher his first recurring nemesis. Dunning also expands the mystery with his connections to a shadowy network of powerful figures controlling events behind the scenes. This more complex narrative creates an overarching threat that could haunt Reacher moving forward. Other new characters like Roscoe Conklin offer enticing romantic possibilities for a man usually incapable of long-term connections. Why does the procedural format work so well for Reacher? With each season self-contained at 8 to 10 episodes, Reacher works perfectly as a procedural. Every town functions as a mini-movie with a complete story arc, a refreshing change of pace from drawn-out serialized shows. The faster case of the week structure maximizes action and suspense. Shorter seasons also allow famous guest stars to appear for a few episodes without a long-term commitment. Oscar winner Jai Courtney's chilling turn as a villain in Season 1 is a great example. The show can attract high-caliber talent by offering exciting but brief roles. Standalone stories prevent the kind of viewer fatigue that sets in during 22-episode network seasons. Even popular procedurals like CSI or Law & Order can start to feel formulaic over hundreds of episodes. But Reacher's constantly changing settings keep the story possibilities fresh. The show can sample from 25 existing books and short stories for inspiration and remix the details. Self-contained seasons also allow the showrunners to experiment with tone. A political thriller structure may work for one season, while another plays out more like a legal drama or small-town murder mystery. How does Reacher's nomadic lifestyle connect with audiences? Reacher's wanderlust resonates with our contemporary culture in several ways. It taps into the freedom fantasies of Americans weary of the 9-to-5 grind. Who hasn't daydreamed about ditching their responsibilities and hitting the open road? Reacher represents an extreme version of this urge. He throws away his few possessions and sets out for new adventures every week, accountable to no one. He goes wherever his whims take him. Secondly, Reacher's rootlessness connects to the isolation wrought by the digital age. Ironically, the technology that keeps us constantly connected can also make people feel detached and alone. Reacher chooses solitude and skepticism of technology. He cultivates his self-reliance. Third, as stable jobs and community ties fray, jobs require more frequent relocations. Loyalty to employers declines and many workers become freelance mercenaries. As society evolves in turbulent ways, Reacher models how to adapt. His lack of materialism frees him from the shackles of possessions. His habit of moving light and staying unencumbered equips him for unstable times. His distrust of institutions like law enforcement reflects eroding trust in establishment systems. Reacher maintains his core values while evolving with the cultural moment. Finally, Reacher's journey reflects society's renewed interest in the American landscape. Trekking from small town to small town, Reacher explores the beauty and diversity of forgotten rural areas. His travels mirror the popularity of long-form podcasts like Serial and S-Town that transport listeners into the mysteries and rich communities of Middle America. Reacher enters these towns with open eyes, spending time in diners and bars to soak up the local vibe. For armchair travelers, Reacher offers virtual tours of the country that feel authentic and genuine. That's a wrap on our Reacher Season 3 speculation party. If you enjoyed our sarcastic unraveling of the unknown, hit that like button and subscribe for more ambiguous content. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you can join our confusion next time. Until then, keep speculating.